Hey YouTube, Casual Dan's back with Shuffle Casual. We have round 4 of our store championship, D Reaper versus D Reaper. So our player on the left begins the game, obviously hatching Mother D, and plays a Searcher for 1. Player on the right then responds with hatching his own mother, playing a Reaper for 1, and following that up with a Pendulum Feet, grabbing 2 Searchers. So this is round 4, this is the final round. I kind of misunderstood our TO while we were having this event and thought there was going to be a fifth and final round. So our finals is being played beside this game, and we just thought it was funny. And I've never actually seen Reaper versus Reaper on YouTube. Probably has. There's probably one somewhere, but I figured this could be interesting for some of you. So let's continue. Our left player then plays a Searcher and plays his bubbles, tucking the Searcher underneath. He follows that with a Starmon and getting rid of the Pendulum for the player on the right and putting him to 3. So player on the right tucks in his Searcher, plays a Searcher for 1, and plays X Antibody under Mother. So yeah, so this is round 4. As I said, the Armor Rush player who drew last round actually made the final as being undefeated. And he was playing against the D Reaper player who we saw in round 2, in second round, in round 2. Eventually, the Armor Rush player ended up taking the finals. So congratulations to our Armor Rush player. And let's go back to the game. So Jerry was played, passing turn, and player on the right did a couple D Reaper shenanigans. You pretty much saw them all on screen. And he just picked up the Rush D Reaper and another Reaper with his Pendulum, and plays a Starmon to get rid of Jerry, which I believe that's a great play. Slow down the player on the right. Player on the right responds by slamming a Searcher. Plays another Searcher, reducing the cost by 3, so for free. And plays a third Searcher. That's a lot of Searchers. And I know that our player on the right, and obviously our player on the left, knows this also. Although he doesn't have as much experience with the D Reaper deck on the left, he knows that our player on the right has been playing and tweaking the same list since pretty much EX1. So he's got a lot of yellow cards in there. So maybe seeing all those 3 Searchers on there is a good reason to eventually start attacking them. So player on the left tucks in a Searcher, swing in with the Pendulum, swing in with bubbles into 1k, so he survives, into Starmon. Plays Searcher for 1. And plays a bubble for 3, passing 3 memory. So our player on the right swings in with a Searcher for, well, he probably counted his sorcerers a little fast, right? So he decides to tuck it in and eventually swing with a Searcher for 4k into the 3k bubbles, right? Because he counted the sorcerers a little fast, and the X Antibody doesn't grant the plus 1000k. But sometimes people forget that the Searchers can actually attack Digimon. They just can't attack players. It's not that they can't attack players. Plays a Starmon for 3, deleting the bubbles. Plays another Searcher for 1. That's another thing that's a little complicated and hard eventually. I'm playing a lot of D Reaper. All the Digimon, they look the same. You play a lot of the same stuff, so it's hard sometimes to remembering which ones can swing and which ones can't. And we'll see that comes up a little later in the round. So our player on the right has a TK Kari, which can put in some work, but a lot of the D Reaper players are actually removing a lot of these yellow cards, being a little bit more slower and tempor plays. They're trying to keep it as pure white as possible to keep it more efficient. Plus, just with the way the meta is being played, like I'm seeing more and more of these blockers and the D Reaper with Rush being played. I mean, these lists are topping, so it seems like the closest to pure white efficiency as possible is probably the better, right? So we play a Pilates Head with the reduction of 5, so only for 1. Nope, take back. These two guys are friends, right? So, I mean, and this is not the finals, so the take back was allowed and easier and accepted. Plays a Gatekeeper with the 5 cost reduction, so for 6. I mean, worst comes to worst, the take back would have only been 1 memory, yeah, so. And well, mind you, the TK card doesn't start at 3, but it's just because he has less memory. So tuck in a Searcher, swing with Starmon, minus 1k on the Gatekeeper. Starmon actually dies, one of the few Digimons that dies in hitting a 1k Searcher in security. Counting sources, because he's got another 1k, not enough to kill the Gatekeeper, so he plays his own Gatekeeper to bring him to 3 security. Player on the left now has 3 memory to work with. So Pilates head for 1. Basically, we're going back to the last round. Tap Pilates head, kill a Searcher. So yeah, knowing that our player on the right has a little bit more yellow cards and he slammed that many Searchers, yeah, and there you go, Starmon. So maybe I know that if I was in that position, that's something I'd do. I mean, if you have a chance to kill him Searchers, hopefully he runs out, but he doesn't. Plays Searcher for 1 and tucks it in under Mother. Right? I mean, if he plays all those yellow cards, he probably doesn't have any room for 20 Searchers in his deck. Pilates head went very fast. I didn't see what he picked up, but he only picked up 1 card because he had to tuck in an X antibody and a Death X. Plays a Searcher for 1. Play a Searcher, passes over turn to 2. Sorry. Player on the left actually has X antibody, tucks it in under Mother. What's the play here? Oh, I guess it's Bubbles with no effect. I was going to say somehow trying to. I guess he doesn't have enough sources to get rid of those Gatekeepers. So player on the right tucks in a Searcher. He's got 2, 4, 6 Searchers, 7 sources, but only 6 Searchers, so it's not enough for a Reaper. We do see in hand that he's got 2 Reapers right now, so. Plays a 3rd Gatekeeper. This is our locals player who's been rolling D Reaper since pretty much EX2, and I don't know, whenever I play against him, it seems like he's always got a Gatekeeper. He's got 3 Gatekeepers against me. Anyway, so passes back to 3, plays a Pendulum Feet for 3, reveals he's going to take the Pilates head and the Searcher, tuck in the Bubbles, counting his sources, so plays a Pilates head for free with enough strength to actually swing into the Gatekeeper. Oh, there's a mistake right there. See, so those 2 pendulums actually looking the same. He's probably made a mistake, so our player actually swung with the 2 pendulums, where one of them was actually played this turn and couldn't attack. I think he has enough attacks on board that it probably won't matter, but plays the Reaper for free, attacks unsuspends 17, swings into a Searcher, attacks unsuspends 19, swings into Death X, attacking unsuspend for 21, and he's got an extra. So he had enough swings with the Gatekeeper. It's just, like I say, sometimes it's a little hard. You got to try to follow the board, and it's easy to mix them up, and he took a swing with a Digimon he couldn't have. So player on the left decided to go first, hatches, and plays a Searcher for 1. Player on the right does pretty much the same opening as last game, and follows that with a Pendulum, picks up 2 Digimon. I know there was a Searcher in there, I didn't see what the other one was. Raise Mother, tuck Mother underneath. He's got 3 memory to play with. Plays X antibody under Mother, so there's already 2 sources. So that early X antibody can actually probably do some work, right? Pendulum, reduce, so he grabs a Reaper and a Searcher. Plays a Searcher for 1. So player on the right tucks in his Searcher, swings in with Pendulum, hits another Pendulum, but because of the plus 1k he actually survives on his turn. Searcher for 1. X antibody on your Mother. So what's the play? What's he reducing? I mean, his 2 cost reduction is decent, but I mean, anything that costs 6 would pass over a lot of memory. So hopefully he's got a basically, yeah, Searcher passing over 1 because he reduces Searcher by 2. Hatch another Mother for what that's worth. Tuck in a second Searcher, play Searcher for 1. Is it time to start swinging before these Gatekeepers come out? Oh, he's actually got Death X in hand. 4 Digimon on this. Yeah, could probably wait. Oh, swing Pendulum into Pendulum. Good idea. Yeah, control the opponent's board. Why not? Oh, there's a take back there. I don't know what that discussion was about. Oh, because he was played this turn, can't attack, right? So Death X on the board, pass over 8 memory to his opponent. Unfortunately, Death X's Digivolve and Destruction effect on play works with levels, so it doesn't work against the board that's slowly getting wide for D-Reaper, but Pendulum swings, survives the check because he swings into a Searcher. We have a Searcher tuck. Reduce Pilates. Oh no, that's not. Yeah, that's Pilates. Okay, and he destroys the taps for effect to get rid of the Pendulum. Plays a Searcher, second Searcher, so gets the draw. I guess he's looking for the draw, but was that a bit of a waste of a Searcher? I mean, all the Searchers are going to die, right? And there goes another third Searcher, just for that draw. So I'm guessing he's not liking his hand. So there you go. Maybe some of them yellow cards are clogging his hand again, because he played right into that Death X actually having a huge impact. Death X actually swings into the last Digimon, plays Searcher for 1. And there's another Pendulum. I mean, these Pendulums are getting in a lot of work. So we'll grab a Gatekeeper and a Searcher. Took the remaining Gatekeeper. So wow, that's like a huge swing for the player on the left. That was a pretty major two interactions right there. And then plays a second Searcher, draws, and then player on the right is not running out of these Searchers. Plays Searcher for 1, tucks it in. Searcher reduced, tucks it in with Bubbles, so at least he's getting them sources. He got 5 with the X antibody there to his opponent's 4. Thinking about that Starmon, at the same time he does need the yellow source. I mean, we see he's got a Spiral Masquerade in hand that he can't play. He does have his Reaper in hand for closing out the game. And there's a Gatekeeper there. I mean, that's giving his opponent a lot of memory with the player on the left having such an awesome board. Okay, there you go. So plays Starmon. And Death X actually got rid of 2 Digimon again. What's Death X? Is it DP or is it cost? Lowest play cost, yeah, so that was pretty painful. Anyway, so went into the rush Reaper. Hesitating on Starmon. That's a waste of a Starmon, but I mean, he's got that extra swing, giving him a chance to close next game, right? You know that when you're playing against Reaper, you're playing on a clock. 6 sources under Mother, so and Gatekeeper would actually be live right now, but if you slam a Gatekeeper, it's just gonna die to Death X. God, Death X is so powerful. He's got another X antibody in hand, at least 2 X antibodies in hand, clogging his hand, so. And a Reaper in there that he can't use. Yep, player on the right seems like he's a bit more of in a pickle, so I'm guessing the player on the left will have to take advantage of all that, right? Slam Pilates head, getting rid of the Rush Reaper, which pretty much did his job anyways. And he is slamming a Gatekeeper. Yeah, okay, so he managed to actually play a smaller cost Digimon before to keep his Gatekeeper alive. So 6 sources under player on the left's mother. Searcher for 1. So much memory to work with. Searcher for 3. Draw all them Digimon, all them sources. So you got another Starmon in hand? No. You're going for the Pilates head? You gotta get rid of that Gatekeeper, right? And if you do, then it's like the floodgates are open. You're gonna start swinging. Oh, his own Gatekeeper. Interesting. Which is online. I thought he was just gonna get rid of the Gatekeeper on the other side and try to use the fact that his board is that much bigger. Searcher for 3, pass over 3. Yeah, that felt like somehow he could have gotten rid of that Gatekeeper and just swung in and took over, but I guess surprise Gatekeeper could always, which always seems to be how I don't know that I can't say that I always lose against the Reaper, although recently, like the 2 times I've played against it recently, I've always become a loss. But so player on our right actually plays a Death X. Well, for if I'm not mistaken, for free, right? Or for very, very little. Pass turn. Wow. So luckily, the fact that the player on the left didn't take advantage of the board he has last turn didn't come up and cost him. He's actually thinking of the Pilates head right there. Why not? So is he missing a plus 1,000? Oh, just playing the Pilates head and the Starmon means he has enough. Or he could reduce with the did he? Oh, he lost the Starmon. Did he swing in with the Starmon? No, he can't. The first one he played. Anyways, or maybe he went back. I don't know what happened there. Such a wide board and other Gatekeeper. Yeah, it's true. I understand that the searchers can't swing, but I'm guessing just keeping that Death X-Mon there just puts the pressure onto his opponent. So now player on the right, although he's got a lot of memory, I mean there's 2 Gatekeepers on the other side. We can see his hand. He's got Spiral, which he can't play, 2 X antibodies, a Reaper, a Gatekeeper. So I mean, all things that aren't helping him right now. And the Bubbles. Plays Bubbles for 3, and he's going into a Reaper. Oh, he actually hard plays the Reaper. I guess with reduction, but still. Kill the Bubbles to the Death X. I mean, he's relying on searchers in his discard, right? But still, you're giving away so much memory to somebody that's had the advantage over you for the last 2 turns. Swinging with Death X into Starmon, swinging with Gatekeeper, swinging with Gatekeeper, Emperor, swinging with Pilates head, and he's actually got the Reaper. So, and there are no security left, so that's Reaper for game. So 1-1. Congratulations. I still think that at least 2 turns late, maybe 1. Let's say you want to be a little bit more patient if you're the player on the left. Anyways, let's go to game 3. So game 3, player on the right decides to go first and starts off with a Starmon. What a waste. He's short on searchers. Player on the left then plays a searcher and follows that up with a Jerry. Raise Mother for the player on the right. And we see his hand. There are no searchers in hand. So he's got to play a Pilates head for full cost. Player on the left tucks in a searcher. Plays a searcher for 1. Taps the Jerry. Tuck in a searcher. Yeah, that's huge. Like the whole momentum is totally on the left player's side. There's another pendulum. Going to be grabbing a searcher and a bubbles. Put the Starmon underneath the deck. But that doesn't matter. I mean, you have such a huge advantage right now. Hopefully, a player on the right will actually find a searcher this turn and bubbles to actually tuck in. So 3 searchers under Mother versus none to the right player's side. And he starts off with 2 memory. He's thinking about swinging in with Starmon. I guess, yeah, you gotta reduce the amount of swings on the other side. So, oh, there's a take back there. Play Death X. I guess he's looking at the costs on the other side and figuring that his opponent will have to sacrifice bubbles and pendulum, but I mean, he'll just swing with them, right? Before the end of his turn? At least he'll get the swings out. There you go. So he could have at least gotten rid of 1 swing. I don't know. So both of them survive. Uses his Jerry. Tuck in another searcher with Jerry. I mean, probably player on the right's just checked out right now. Oh, I love this. D-Reaper decks are so annoying to play against that the fact that there's actually one struggling right now, I love. Plays the bubbles. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, why the bubbles end up in the trash? So he actually, but with bubbles, tucks in another source, plays a free Jerry. Yeah, there's the searcher. Hopefully he's not looking for the Reaper, because the Reaper's just been thrown underneath the deck. 7 sources, so that's enough for a Reaper right there. I was wondering if he's going to wait for the next turn, but yeah, okay, there's Reaper. He's going for it. So we'll swing in at 17. Second swing in at 19. Third swing. Oh, he's not even putting sources underneath. He just swing in, but he's 19. How much is, Spiral for 4, it'd be only 12, so it doesn't matter. So Reaper actually survives the swing and gets the swinging in again. Wow. And that's the game, folks. A fun end to an interesting 2 out of 3. Thanks for watching, and please, like and subscribe, as it'll help grow my small channel.